This session's going to be a little bit different than almost anyone you may have had a chance to go through up to this point, either with me or books that you've had a chance to read, seminars that you've gone to, tapes or CDs that you may have listened to. And here's why. What we're going to be coaching to is why salespeople fail. And I'm going to use myself as an example. The first 10 years of my selling career, they were difficult, to say the very least. The first 10 years of my selling career were not impressive. I was not getting what I wanted to get on purpose. And in fact, when I first got into sales, maybe you can relate to this, I said, I've got to learn everything I can about my product, about my service. And then I found out, wow, there are entire books written on how to close a sale. There are books written on handling objections, handling stalls, how to close, the 50 things to say to close a sale. And I went out, I bought all the books and I read them. I remember signing up for Nightingale Conan and got those tapes in the mail every single month. I was buying these really expensive tape programs and I would listen to them and I'd listen to all these stories. And they were fun, but a lot of this stuff just didn't show up in my business. In fact, if somebody were to write a book about the first 10 years of my sales career, it's embarrassing to admit it, but it's true. The first 10 years of my selling life, if they were to write a book, it would have been called The Diary of a Wimpy Sales Guy. I had a couple of beliefs, and if it's okay with you, in this session, I'm going to share with you some things that I was doing during those first 10 years. I wasn't at the top 80% of salespeople. I was at the bottom 20. And it puzzled me for a long time because I worked really hard. We'll get into more of that in just a minute. There were some beliefs that I had that were actually holding me back. Now, I'm going to share some of these with you, and I'm not saying do the opposite. I'm just going to share with you a couple of beliefs and some rules that I put into place. I've had a chance to share this story with hundreds of salespeople, usually in a live event. And when I do, here's what they come up and tell me afterwards. I thought it was just me. So I'm really going to pull back the curtain here and show you that, yeah, even though I make my living right now, I have a sales training and coaching company for the last 15 years. Here's how I got good. It was because I went through the same kind of stuff that other people have gone through. So let's talk about some of those beliefs that I had at the time, and then some of the things that were actually hurting my sales career. Now, here's a belief that I had, I still have, but look at it in a little different way. Here it is. If you work hard, you're going to get results. Now, when I was growing up, probably same for you, they said, work hard, right? Do a good job. So the first belief I had was work hard, you'll get results. If I couldn't get it done in 8 hours, I'd work 10. If I couldn't get it done in 10, I'd work 12. And here's why. I believed that what I lacked in skill, I could make up for in effort. See, you may be a better salesperson than I was. But what I truly believed, and I kept proving this right over and over again, was that while it might only take you 6 hours, and it might take me 12, that's okay. I'm going to work that 12 hours. And then all of a sudden my life became about the job. And I was spending a lot of time kind of scratching my head, wondering why other people were doing so much better. Or how is it they got those results so fast? Well, maybe they knew somebody. And yeah, I came up with all these excuses. We'll get to some of that in just a minute. But in addition to some of these beliefs, that the only way to be successful was I had to work 12, 14 hours a day, and that what I lacked for in skill, I could make up for in effort. There were also some rules that I followed that weren't necessarily in my best interest. Now, on the surface, these are going to make sense, and I'm not saying to go the opposite way. I'm just going to share with you real quickly my story. So here's the first rule. Don't push. Don't be a pushy salesperson. The last thing that I wanted to be was that idea that I had in my head of what a salesperson looked like. I didn't want to be that. And in fact, I would go completely the other direction to make sure that they didn't see me as a salesperson, that I was more of a consultant. Here's another one. Don't make people uncomfortable. And here's what I thought made people uncomfortable. Asking them if they want to buy it. I can't tell you how many sales presentations I went through where I just kept talking and talking and talking and hoping, right? Again, this was unconscious stuff that I was doing. because I knew I was at that point in the presentation where it was time for them to say, all right, what would you like me to do? Do you want to buy this or not? Here's another one. I had this belief that said, if they like me, they're going to buy from me. And we put some of these unconscious rules in place. I never sat down and said, okay, here's how it goes. But the end result was I spent more time worrying about getting people to like me than I did worrying about my job, which was getting people to buy from me. Now, I'm going to dig into all of these and show you how they kept raising their head in my business. And hopefully, if you can relate to any of this, you'll start to realize, hey, I'm not alone here. There's a saying that I think fits really well right here. Now, there were 5 key mistakes that I made, and we're going to jump into those right now. What we're aware of, we can control. And what we're unaware of controls us. Let me do that one more time. What we're aware of, we control. What we're unaware of controls us. So let's talk about the 5 mistakes that I made again and again and again over a period of almost 10 years that were causing me to work longer, work harder, and get fewer results.